What up, YouTube? Back with another one. I'm just kind of making this on rainy days. I'm just kind of making videos for younger generations. I don't really, I don't want to get into the whole political stuff or whatever. Simply being, I see a lot of these kids that basically, they need some help out there. So if you found my videos, cool. I'm just here. And the one thing I kind of looking at is like, if you get laid off, or things like that. Let's say you get laid off or you get fired. I'm 41. I've been laid off 3 times in my life. Just out of never knew it was coming. Just basically the company I was working for just said you come in one day and they're like, hey, we're having a meeting, and that happens a lot out here. As it's the Midwest, so it's a lot of manufacturing and just how it is. So I'm gonna give you some tips that helped me along the way. And it's simple stuff and maybe something to think about. My first thing is noodles. As crazy it is, you can pretty much live off noodles. When I was up, when I go to the grocery store, I'd always buy a can of chicken noodle and throw it in the cupboard. And like when it was on sale or whatever. And I dated some girls that were like, why do you have this? You don't, da da da. And then what happened, one of them lost their job and they lived on that for like Campbell's soup, smashed crackers, make a gruel out of it. I ate that when I was spinning wrenches. That was my lunch. It's a delicacy for me. So, it held them over. Another thing, get off auto pay. If you're an auto pay person or where it takes off, it's a penalty either way. You need to go back to cash. You need to go back to basically a checking to actually write out your checks, or you just go into your bank and get it done. Because at the end of the day, you need to pay yourself first, no matter what, and you need to dictate where you want your money to go. Because whatever little stack you have, that's what you have. So some things you got to live without, and you need to figure that out yourself, what you can live and live with, I guess, if that makes sense. Your car insurance, you might be driving a raggedy beater right now, but at the end of the day, now you've got to gamble, because if you got a $500 deductible, you need to jack that up to like $1,000, $2,000, or something higher. In the meantime, you need to not drive crazy, because you ain't going anywhere anyway. You shouldn't be burning out doing different things. You need to be home. You need to be trying to focus on getting up and looking for a job again. So up your car insurance and it'll drop your monthly rate if you pay monthly. It should, at least a couple bucks. It don't sound like much, but it is something. A lot of your cable stuff too. I'm a person, I just got an antenna TV here. That's it, so it's free for me. But if you got a bunch of subscriptions, that's pulling out every month, And honestly, like, some of the comfort of that, you got to realize that like that's what's keeping you down too. Another thing, big meals. Learn how to use a crock pot. My uncle's in the military. His wife passed away. He makes just a big bowl of a can of like vegetables with tomatoes in it and some meat, and he eats that pretty much 3-4 days. And if you don't know how to use a crock pot, it's simple. Toss the stuff in that you like and wait 8 hours, 10 hours, and you got a good meal for a couple days. You can even honestly get a good piece of meat, throw that in there for $10, and let's say eat off it for a couple days, make sandwiches out of it and things like that. So, when you are always buying in the store, you're buying containers and stuff, it's always more expensive. So you're gonna have to start budgeting your meals, but at the same time, like, a bigger meal and try to stretch it as long as you can. That's where you're at. Now, when you're looking for jobs, do not go and just run to one job. You got gas in the tank, basically that's going up. You're burning gas, running there, running there, running there, running there. You need to basically figure out that week. Let's say Monday, look for jobs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all that stuff. And online you can do it now, but let's say I'm talking to a person that has to physically go in and get a job yet or an application or whatever. Basically, figure the route out. Go like on a Wednesday, do the route, grab all the applications, plan a route, fill them all out, and then on Friday or even on that Thursday, come back and hit that route. Write down who, when you put it in and everything, and a week later, call them. And if you really think you want the job, just keep bugging them. I hate to say it. That's the old school way. I don't know. I'm blue collar dude, so I'm going off the things that work for me, I guess. You got to network a little bit. You got all these social medias. A lot of times you can get it in on a job through somebody. Even if it's not in your wheelhouse. Everybody pretty much they know when you're on your back foot or whatever. Sometimes you can find a job like that. Even if you do find a job, you need to know how much you need to survive. I worked a job changing oil. I lost the job. I took a job changing oil because I just thought in my head I never had it without a job. So it was like, I need a job. So I took a job changing oil like half an hour away from here, and it was, now looking back, it was pointless because I was burning just as much gas to go out there and do the job and then come back. And I wasn't even treading water. I was basically just enough to get a breath of fresh air and then it'd sink again. So I should have spent more time looking for a job and totaling up my bills to figure out what I actually needed an hour just to even get by. And then find something around that thing. Another thing, it's wintertime. Like I said, I'm in the Midwest. Like your heat bill, basically you're gonna wear jackets, you're gonna wear hoodies, things like that. That don't sound like much, but when you go from a 74, 72 house down to 67, 65, that makes a big difference on your heat bill. I know I don't know, that might sound crazy to people, but it is what it is. You need to be in survival mode. You need to figure out your pockets are leaking. You need to figure out how to stretch it as long as possible. Get up like you got a job. And what I mean by that is, I watch people, they lose that job, and that's the job they had 10, 15 years in there, and basically that's the job they thought they were going to have their whole life. And when they lost it, it crushed them. Then the wheels didn't spin anymore, and a lot of them, it knocked them right on their butt. And it can do that for life, like for some people. So you need to get up, get showered. I don't care if you need to take a walk in the morning, a bike ride, whatever it is, and you got nothing going on. You need to stay active. You need to, in your mindset, you need to stay active, because you sit there and idle time and all of a sudden it's a pity party. That can lead into some other things too. So at the same time with that is you want to get up, you want to, even if it's like your job internet sites ain't hitting and nothing's working, you need to get up, you need to go do some things. I don't care, like I know some people that basically we got farms around here that work on a farm, split firewood, things like that, and that's out of their wheelhouse. But if they need money, they'll do it, and they ain't making they just making enough money to survive doing that stuff, and they're fine with it till they figure it out, because you're not going to figure it out right away. And this is, I don't want to get into the money aspect, but now this might sound crazy to some people, but if you can at least, when you get back on your feet, get $2,000 and put it into a bank account, or either put it under a mattress or put it under a safe or whatever, you dig a hole and put it in a mason jar, for all I care. But $2,000 even stretch, because when I lost my stuff, this was pre all this stuff. Okay. But when I did, like, doing these things stretched me out an extra 2 months. And my brother lost his job, and I told him all this stuff to do, and he didn't do any of it. He told me, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, da da da. And he thought it was going to be grab another job, and it was going to be, and that doesn't always happen. That old, I'll just be a Walmart greeter. You know, I can get a job at Walmart. Well, now, because I was through '08, I watched on TV people jump from buildings when the stock market crashed. You know, so at the end of the day, like, you might have, that job could be locked up before you even get there. That Walmart greeter job or that easy hook shot job to keep your lights on, that's filled by somebody else that lost their job. So you got to figure it out that, like, there's not the old, oh, I can just do this job. Yeah, you can, but somebody else can too. So, you know, that's just some things that I learned. Like I said, I've been laid off 3 times, and it's hard to come back. It really is. You know, realize you're disposable. Like, you might have a lot of knowledge, but at the same time, like, if a company's like hitting hard, like, I got a job right before beer flu happened, and I had 2 weeks in, and they said, hey, listen, we don't know what's going on. We gotta let you go. I'm like, all right, I know the game. You know, I also worked at other places that never laid off, and then when the thing happened, you know, there's people that got kids and stuff like that, and they're flying off the handle, you know. And this was a company that bragged about how, you know, their family and all that. So that's just some things to look at. Like I said, that's my list. It's a basic list, but that's things that helped me. I wish I wish I kind of had this list. I didn't have to go through this list, but at the same time, now I know, like, this is a pretty good, solid list in my mind to help you guys out. So hopefully you never have to be it. You know, hopefully you come out of the gate and, you're good and you got it, you're successful. And, you know, even if you are, you never get to see that side of the coin. You know, that's great, you know, but sometimes when you see that side of the coin, you got to at least have a little blue book, you know, or handbook to at least get you through. So I hope that's that. So take it easy. All right. Bye.